Hello everyone, once again welcome to the study. In this video, we will learn the question answers of the exercise of Chapter 3, Money and Banking of Class 12 Macroeconomics. Every questions of this exercise are taken according to new syllabus, that is revised syllabus of COVID-19 pandemic. So please don't skip any part of this video. This video is useful for especially CBSE, Assam Higher Secondary Board, RBSE and all other senior secondary boards of class 12 students. Before starting the video, please subscribe to study and press the bell icon. Now let's start the lesson. So let's come to the first question. So this is the first question of your exercise. First question is, what is a barter system? What are its drawbacks? So you have to define the barter system here and its drawbacks, that means disadvantages of the barter system should be explained here. So what is barter system? Here given the answer, and before discussing these answers, I want to request you that you should prepare your notebooks and pen with you while you are watching the video, and that time whenever I will explain these answers, that time you have to write the answers. Otherwise you may take a screenshot of this slide. You have to take the screenshot, and after understanding the lesson, after understanding the answer, you should write. Okay, so let's come to the answer. Barter system is a system that was used in ancient times. That means you have to keep remember here, this is the keyword. Ancient times means barter system was used in ancient times. What was the purpose? Purpose was to exchange goods. So this is the definition. Barter system is a system that was used in ancient times to exchange goods. In other words, this system was used to exchange one commodity for another before the monetary system came into existence. That means before the monetary system, that means before money came into existence. Okay, before money came into limelight, that time barter system was prevail in the society, in the economy. Okay, so for example, if a person having rice wants tea, then he can exchange rice with a person who has tea and needs rice. So this is an example here. The economy having the barter system was called CC economy, that is commodity is exchange for commodity. CC economy is also called that means the other name of the barter system is CC economy. And CC, the full form of CC economy is that commodity is exchange for commodity. So this is very important, and this is the important definition of barter system, and you have to keep remember this, and you have to write this and try to memorize all this and try to understand. First point is that you have to understand all this, and after understanding these points you have to memorize, and then only you can write in your examination. And this is a very important question for your examination point of view. So various drawbacks of the barter system are given below. That means these are the drawbacks or disadvantages of the barter system. So first one is the problem of double coincidence of wants. So what does it mean? Here given double coincidence of wants implies that needs of two individuals should complement each other for the exchange to take place. For example, the above case, the second person must need rice in exchange of tea. That means their wants for commodity must be matched. That should be matched here. If they will not match or they will not coincidence, then barter system cannot be prevail in the society, in the economy. So this is important. That means this is the problem. That means in actual cases, double coincidence will not happen. That means I want rice but I cannot give you tea. Similarly, if I want tea, I have to give you rice. That means your want is rice but I don't have any rice, but I want tea. You have tea with you, you want to exchange tea with rice, but I don't have rice, I have another some kinds of vegetables, then I can give you only the vegetables. That means there will not be any commonness in the words. So that commonness or the problem, that is coincidence of the words, that is the problem. So that problem was prevail in case of barter system. So second problem, that is second drawbacks or second disadvantage, lack of common unit of value. Under barter system there was no common unit for measuring the value of good in terms of other goods for the purpose of exchange. For example, a horse cannot be measured in terms of rice in case of the exchange between rice or horse. So this is important here, that is lack of common unit of value. That means if I want rice, I have a horse to exchange with you, but what happened? So what will be the common value, common unit? That means for your horse, how much amount of rice I have to pay you. So that was the problem. That means 1 kg of rice or 1 quintal of rice, that is not equal to the value of the horse. So what will be the unit of value? So that was the problem in case of barter system. And third one is here, difficulty in wealth storage. So what does it mean? It was very difficult to store commodities for future exchange purposes. The perishable goods like grains, milk or meat could not be stored to exchange goods in future. Therefore, wealth storage was a major difficulty of barter system. So here it should be barter system, it is better written here, it should be barter system. So this is the very important difficulty, that is, or disadvantage, that is difficulty in wealth storage. That means if you have to prepare wealth or any commodity for exchange in barter system, then you have to store them. But storing some kinds of perishable goods, that means the goods which will be destroyed, that are not durable, okay, undurable goods, those cannot be stored. If you can store them anyhow, but you need so much place, so that was the problem. So that was the disadvantage of barter system. Next one is here, lack of standard of deferred payments. That means the future payments could not be met in a CC economy, that is barter system, as wealth could not be stored. That means because we cannot store wealth, therefore in future what will be the payment, what will be the system of payment, what will be the medium of payment, that was the problem. So it was very difficult to pay back loans. So these are the drawbacks or disadvantages of the barter system. So I hope you have understood this, and we are going to second question here. What are the main functions of money? How does money overcome the shortcomings of a barter system? So this is also a very important question here. The main functions of money are as follows. First one is the medium of exchange, second one is the unit of value, third one is the store of value, fourth one is the standard of deferred payments, and these four are the very important functions of money. So let's explain this. Medium of exchange. Money acts as a medium of exchange as it facilitates exchange through a common medium, that is currency. In other words, money helps in buying and selling goods. For example, a person can sell his goods to another for money, and that person can use money to purchase goods of his choice. So money solves the problem of double coincidence of wants. So this is very important functions of money, that is money acts as the medium of exchange. That means, so the first problem with the first drawback with the barter system, that was the problem of double coincidence of wants. So this was the problem. So this problem was solved by money being a medium of exchange. So this is important here. And second one is the unit of value. The values of goods can be measured in terms of money, that is unit of value. In terms of, that means any goods value you can measure in terms of money. So it is a common medium through which we can calculate the value of each and every good. The value of a good in terms of money is called the price. In barter system, the lack of a common denominator for measuring values of goods was a major drawback. So that was the major drawback in the barter system, but that was overcome by money being a unit of value. Next, third one is the store of value. This function explains importance of money as value storage. This implies that wealth in forms of money can be stored easily as a medium of exchange for future use. For example, money can be stored in banks for meeting emergency and future needs. So that was the store of value. This is also important. I will not explain so more as because everything is given here. So you should read properly and you should listen properly also. Next one, fourth one, standard of deferred payment. That means payments can easily be made through the medium of money. In other words, it is very difficult to pay back a loan in terms of goods and services. However, with the advent of money, the payments of loans or increased interest can easily be made. That means whatever you have to pay in future, that can be paid in terms of money. That is called deferred payment. Deferred payments means what? Whatever you have to pay in future. That is, suppose you have taken an amount of loan from your friend, then you have to pay that loan within 1 year or after 1 year. Then how will you pay? You will pay in terms of money, not in terms of goods and services. So that was the function of money. Okay, so I hope you have understood this. So let's come to the money overcome the shortcomings of a barter system. So here money overcomes the shortcomings of barter system in the following manner. So these are the manner, these are important manners given here. So first one here given is money solved the problem of double coincidence of wants. So that was the main drawbacks of the barter system, which was overcome by money. For example, if a person needs wheat in exchange of tea, then he or she must search for a person who is ready to trade wheat or tea. Money made the needs for such searches redundant. That means money will help for searching such kinds of wants. That means suppose you want to trade wheat for tea, but you have to search a person who is exchanging tea for wheat. So that means your wants must coincidence. That is not possible in society or in the economy. So that problem of double coincidence of wants is overcome by money. Second one is the barter. In barter system, it was very difficult to measure the value of one good in terms of another. For example, it is difficult to calculate the value of a cow in terms of wheat, and that was overcome by money. You have to write one line here more. That was overcome by money. That means barter system, what happened? We cannot measure value of one good in terms of another. That was the main difficulty in barter system. So here one example is also given, and that kind of problem was solved by money. Any value and value of any good in terms of money can be measured, and money can be exchanged for the value of any goods. So third one, it is very difficult to store goods, especially perishable goods, fruits, meat, for the purpose of value storage. Money serves this purpose. That means money also overcome this problem of storage of goods or services or wealth. That was overcome by money. Next, fourth one, the contractual or future payments are much difficult to be made in barter system. For example, a worker working in contract basis could not be paid in terms of rice or shares. So this problem was also overcome by money. So these are the shortcomings of a barter system which are overcome by money. So this is also important question, and you have to keep remember. You have to take one screenshot here and you have to write in your notebook. Okay, so I hope you have understood this. Let's come to the next question. Next question is here, what is transaction demand for money? How is it related to the value of transaction over a specified period of time? So now you have to define the transaction demand for money. So answer is here, transaction demand for money is the amount of money required for current transaction of individuals and firms. That means transaction demand for money is the amount of money, total amount of money that is required for current transaction of individuals and firms. That means you have to do any kinds of transaction. Suppose you are an individual or you are a firm, then you have to perform some kinds of transaction in a period of time. So on that period of time you require some amount of money, and that amount, that total amount which you required in a given period of time is the transaction demand for money. It is the quantity of money that all the individuals and firms desire to keep on hand for purpose of financing their forthcoming expenditure. That means this is the quantity of money, that means total quantity of money that all individuals and firms desire to keep on hand. They want to keep this amount of money on their hand for what is the purpose? Purpose of financing their forthcoming expenditure, that means their future expenditure. That means to solve the problem of their future expenditure, people wants to hold money in their hands, and that amount of money which they wants to hold in their hand is the transaction demand for money. That means you are saving money in cash in your money box, means that you are keeping that money for the future transaction. That means the demand for money means demand for the cash amount of money that is for your future or present transaction purposes. You want to buy something, you want to spend money, so for spending those amount you have to keep some money in your hand. So whatever money in your hand in the form of cash is the transaction demand for money. So next one is the next part of the question, that is the relationship between demand for money and the value of transaction over a specified period of time. So what is the relationship? Your answer is given, the transaction demand for money of the economy is fraction of total volume of the transactions over a unit of period of time. Again here definition is given, and symbolically that means as an equation, here transaction demand for money can be written MDT equal to KT. It shows that transaction demand for money MDT is the transaction demand for money is a positive fraction. It is a positive fraction K, and here the positive fraction is what? This K is the positive fraction here of total value of transaction. So total value of transaction is here T, and it's one fraction, that is K is taken here, and total demand, that is MDT means that is transaction demand for money, and it's equal to KT. K is the fraction, K is a positive fraction, it cannot be negative, and here T is the total amount of money transacted in a particular period of time. So this can be clarified with a simple example of two-person economy consisting of one person's firm and the other in a worker. So here I want to mention you that if this question is between 2 to 3 mark, okay, either it may be 2 marks question or 3 mark question. If it is 2 marks or 3 marks question, then just you have to write here only, okay, from the beginning you have to just write till here, then it will be enough for your, according to the marks, your answer will be complete. Otherwise, if you will be given, you will be allotted here 4 to 6 marks in this question, then you have to give this example. So here example given, this can be clarified with a simple example of two-person economy. 2-person means only 2 persons. So we are supposing here, we are supposing that only 2 persons are there in the economy, one person's firm and the other person as a worker. So what is the example? Your example is here, suppose the worker gets a salary of rupees 1000 on the first day of every month and spends over the month his entire income on goods and services produced by the firm. That means the worker gets salary. of 1000 rupees on the first day of the every month, and over the month he will spend from that 1000 rupees on purchasing what goods and services produced by that particular firm where he works. His monthly cash balance at the beginning of the month is rupees 1000 and at the end of the month is 0. That means at the end he will finish all his money. As against it, the firm has rupees 0 balance at the beginning of the month. And what happened? Just in the economy, just only two persons are there. One is the firm and other is the worker. And in the beginning of the month, whatever the firm will acquire, firm will earn over the month, that will be given to the worker as his salary. So therefore what happened? In the beginning of the month, the firm will have the 0 balance at the beginning, and rupees 1000 at the end of the month it sells up to the worker. So average money holding of the worker is rupees 500, that is half of, this should not be 0, that is, yeah, okay, it should be 0, no problem, it should be 0. So it is 1000, that is 1000 plus what, 0 by 2, and of the firm is also rupees 500, that is 0 plus, that means in the beginning it is 0 and 1000, it should become a 1000 by 2, it is not 22, it is 2 only, okay, so 2. So then by the firm, the total volume of monthly transaction in the economy is rupees 2000, as the firm has sold its goods and services worth rupees 1000 to the worker, and the worker has sold his services worth rupees 1000 to the firm. Hence the transaction demand for money is a fraction here, 50%, that is the value of k, the value of k is equal to 50%, or you may write as half, the value is here half, to the volume of the transaction over a unit period of time. That means the period of time should be here unit, that is 1 month, 1 year, that kind of period of time should be here. So here nothing, it is an hypothetical example, just we are taking an example of only two persons economy, where only one firm and one person who is working for that particular firm, and that firm is offering him the payment as well as offering him the goods and services whatever he required for the whole of the month. So this is just a simple example. So I think you have understood this, and let's come to the question number 4. So in the question number 4, it is given, suppose a bond promises rupees 500 at the end of 2 years and with no intermediate return. If the rate of interest is 5% per annum, what is the price of the bond? So friends, I want to tell you that this question is deleted from your syllabus of the CBSE. So the students who are watching from the CBSE, they should not watch this. You may skip this part of the video and you should go forward, and other boards you have to do according to your syllabus, whatever this one given in your syllabus or not, you have to determine yourself. If it is given in your syllabus, then you have to watch, otherwise you have to skip it and you have to go forward. So let's come to the solution. So suppose a bond promises 500 at the end of the 2 years. At the end of the 2 years means this is the amount, that means whatever you will return, you will get return from the bond, okay, for 2 years, that is time period is given here 2 years with no intermediate return. If the rate of the interest rate is given here, and what is the price of the bond, that means the price of the bond. So you have to write here, let the price of the bond, let the price of the bond is P, you have to write yourself, I will not write completely here, and then you have to write again, given, all are given here, what are given here, A equal to, that is amount equal to rupees 500, you have to write this one also, and the rate of interest, that is 5% is given, and for 2 years it is mentioned here clearly 2 years, at the end of the 2 years means it is, the time period is here 2 years, then you have to write 2 years, Okay, so all these are given, so you have to write these in the given section, and just you have to let this one at the beginning of the question, and then we'll solve this one. So before solving this one, you have to write we know that. Here you have to write we know that. What do you know? That is A equal to P into 1 plus R by 100 whole to the power n. This formula you know, and just you have to substitute the values here given. So what is the value given here? A, in place of A it is 500 is given, and what is the value of P? That is not given here. We just assume P, and then 1 plus R. What is the value of R here? 5%, 5, that is 5, and by 100, and whole to the power n means the time period, that is 2 years, and it is 2 here. And this one you have to solve. So as soon as you solve, you may do the simplest form of this fraction. 5 by 100, 5 ones are 5, and 5 20s are 100. So you will get here 1 plus 1 by 20. And then what value you will get here? You will get your 500 equal to P into 1 plus 1 by 20 and whole to the power 2, and here this is 500 equal to P into, you just have to add this fraction, these two fractions, 1 plus 1 by 20, that is 20 is the denominator, and 21 is a 20 plus 1, that is 21. This is 21 by 20 whole to the power 2 or whole square. And then you have to find the square of the both numerator and denominator. The square of numerator, you should not put the bracket here. Square of this numerator is 21, so 21's square, that is 441, and the square of 20 is 400. That means P into 441 by 400 you will get. And whenever you require to find the value of P, then you just have to take 500 into and reciprocal of this fraction. So what is the reciprocal of this fraction? That is 400 by 441. So 441 here. And then whenever you solve this one, you will find what? You will find the value 453.51. You have to multiply these two, then you will find what? Here you will find 5 4 the 20, and how many zeros here? 2, here 2, 4, and 4 plus 20 is 1, that is 2 lakh. You will find 2 lakh by 441, and then 2 lakh should be divided by 441, then you will find this value 4453.51, and this is the value of P. Therefore P equal to this one. And then at the end of this question, at the end of the answer, you have to write therefore the price of bond equal to 453.51, and before this you have to write the rupees here. So this is the answer of this question. And let's come to the question number 5. In question number 5, it is asked, why is speculative demand for money inversely related to the rate of interest? So answer here is, the speculative demand for money is inversely related to the interest rate. So now we have to give answer why. This statement is already given in the question, and when, so the answer is given now. When interest rate on security is very high, then people expect interest rate to fall in future. Okay, you should not write this when. Instead of this when, you can write here because, B-E-C-A-U-S-E, because interest rate on security is very high, then because when, okay, before this when, you have to write because, then only it will be complete. Once again I am repeating this one. First of all you have to write this statement, then you have to write because. Okay, as because you are giving the answer of why, so always it should be because. Then you have to write when interest rate on security is high, then people expect interest rate to fall in future. Interest rate on security, if it is high, then people will expect, that it will fall in future. That means whatever high in present, whatever the interest rate high in present, that will fall in the future. And this implies that in future bond price will rise, indicating capital gain to the bondholders. That means then this implies means whenever they will expect, they will think that in future the interest rate will fall, then they will do what? They will think that the bond prices will rise. The prices of the bond will rise in future. So therefore there will be capital gain on the bondholder. So to maximize the capital gain, more people will convert their cash balances into bonds, therefore leading to a low speculative demand for money. On the contrary, when interest rates are low, people expect interest rate to rise in future. So in the present, whenever the interest rate is low, then people will expect that it will be high in future. Then bond prices will fall in the future. That means bond prices will be fall in the future, indicating capital loss to the bondholders. Hence, to minimize the capital loss, people tend to convert bonds into money, resulting in high speculative demand for money. This shows that the speculative demand for money is inversely related to the interest rate. So I will explain this more. You have to keep remember here interest rate on security. Interest rate means here speculative demand for money inversely related to the interest rate. So you have to keep remember this interest rate is on the securities. Okay, securities or bond. If it is high here, interest rate is high, then people will think that in the future it will fall. The interest rate will fall in future. So therefore they will do what? They will think that in the future bondholder will get more capital gain. They will find more capital gain, and they will think that if there will be more capital gain in the future, then they will convert their cash, whatever money with them, they will convert that money to bond. That means the bond, they will just purchase the bond. Okay, means they will not keep any amount, they will not deposit any amount in the bank. Okay, if they will think that interest rate will be fall in future, then in the present day it is high, in the future it will be fall. Therefore if it will be fall, then keeping money in bank or depositing money in bank will incur loss. That means they will have to face loss in future. So therefore they will not keep the money in the bank. Instead of doing that, they will just convert their money into bonds, and they will speculate to get the more capital gain in the future. So on the contrary, if in the present time the interest rate are low, interest rate on the securities are low, or interest rate in the bank is low, then they will expect that the interest rate will be increasing in the future. It will increase in the future, and then the bond prices will fall in future. Okay, so that means if a customer will think that if interest in the present time interest rate is low, and he will think that in the future the interest rate will be higher. Okay, it will be higher or it will increase in future. Then he will do what? He will sell all the bonds he hold. Okay, whatever bonds he is holding will be sold. He will sell then keep all his money in the bank, or he will purchase securities. Okay, that means by depositing the money, whatever he get from selling the bonds, or by purchasing the securities, he will expect or he will speculate to find more interest rate in the future. Okay, so therefore speculative demand for money is inversely related to the interest. Inversely related means if demand for money will increase, interest rate will decrease. One increase, other decrease. This is the inversely relation. Okay, so I hope you have understood this. let's come to the next question. Question number 6. This is very important question, liquidity trap, and I think this one also deleted from the CBSE syllabus. So if it is really deleted from the CBSE syllabus, then you should skip this part of the video and you should go further. So answer is here, liquidity trap is a situation. Liquidity trap means it is a situation in which the speculative demand function is infinitely elastic. That means liquidity trap is a situation of the economy in which speculative demand function will be infinitely elastic. It will be elastic, infinitely elastic. That means there is no chance to be elastic, it will be inelastic. So liquidity trap is a extreme case of the economic situation when interest rates are very low. That means liquidity trap happens when interest rates are very low. Then everyone expect interest rate to go up in future. Thus, to avoid capital loss, everybody prefers maintain cash balance and not bond. That means everybody will maintain cash balance, that they will hold cases for the future loss. That means they will save themselves of incurring losses in the future. Consequently, the speculative demand for money is infinitely elastic. So liquidity trap can be defined with the help of the following diagram. Here diagram is given. This one is a diagram here. You have to draw this diagram. And in this diagram, interest rate is represented on the vertical axis and speculative demand on the horizontal axis. When R equal to R minimum, the economy is in the liquidity trap where the speculative demand for money is infinite elastic. So what happened in this diagram here, interest rate is represented on the vertical axis. Interest rate here in the vertical axis, it is given in the vertical axis, and in the horizontal axis it is given here what? It is given the speculative demand for money. Okay, so here MDS is given. MDS means money demand, and this is defined by this formula here, R min minus R divided by R minus R min, and this is the here formula given, and this is what? This is the demand function of money, and it will be inelastic here in this part, and this inelastic part, this part is the liquidity trap. That means money is trapped in this part. Now nobody will convert their cases into bond or securities. So that is the liquidity trap. Means money will be trapped in the hands of the people, as because they will demand more money in their hands, as because they are thinking that if they will invest their money on the bond or securities in future, they will have to incur losses. So avoiding incurring losses in future, they will hold the money in their hands only. So that is the liquidity trap. So I hope you had understood this, and let's come to the next question. Question number 7. So question number 7, what are the alternative definitions of money supply in India? So alternative definitions of money supply in India, you have to give the answer here. Answer is the various definitions of money supply in India as prescribed by RBI are M1, M2, M3, M4. So these are the supply of money in India. So M1, M2, M3 and M4 are arranged in the descending order in liquidity. That means their liquidity are in descending order there. That means here M1, M2, M3 and M4 are arranged in descending order. They are increasing in the descending order. In other words, M1 has the highest liquidity and M4 has the least liquidity. That means we have the 4 supply of money here. 4 supply of money, that is M1, M2, M3, M4. These are, and here among these 4 supply of money, M1 is the highest liquidity. It has the highest liquidity. It means as soon as you require cash, you can exchange this amount, this money into cash, and M4 has the least liquidity, means it can be converted into the cash, but you require more time. It is not impossible, but it is possible, but you require the time. So what is M1, what is M2, what are these? Let's come to this point. So for M1 here given, M1 equal to C plus DD plus OD, and C means what? C means the currency held by public, and DD means net demand deposit of the bank, and OD means what? Other deposits held by RBI. So M1, the formula for M1 is this, and these are the components of M1, that is C, DD and OD. And what is M2? M2 is here M1 plus savings of the people with post office. Whatever the savings with the post office of the people are there, so that is included with M1, and we'll find what? M2. That is the value of M2. And M3 means M1 plus net time deposit with commercial banks. Net time deposit, that is fixed deposit. M3 is the most commonly used measure of money supply. It includes the components of M1 and the net deposit of commercial banks. And what is M4? M4 is the M3 plus total deposits with post office excluding national savings certificate. So in the M4 we'll include M3 plus total deposit with post offices. But here we have to exclude the national savings certificate, and SC we have to exclude that one. So I hope you have understood this one. Let's come to the next question. Next question is, what is a legal tender? What is fiat money? So what is legal tender? Legal tender refers to the currency notes and coins being issued by the monetary authorities of India, that is RBI, and Government of India as a legal medium of payment. Legal tender means that is the currency notes and coins. These are called the legal tenders, but that must be issued by the monetary authority of India, and monetary authority of India are the RBI and the Government of India. That is important. And fiat money derives its value only because of government order, that is fiat. And fiat money means what? Fiat money, that is, it derives the value, it derives the money value only because of the government order. The currency becomes fiat money when the government declares it to be the legal tender. This is not backed by reserves but by faith or trust, and this money does not have intrinsic value, that is, the real value is not equivalent to the face value printed on the notes or coins. Okay, so this is the fiat money. So legal tender and fiat money are a little bit different. To be a legal tender, any currency notes or any coins can be legal tender if they are issued by the monetary authority of India, but just because fiat money derives its value only because of government order. Okay, to become any currency or any coin as a fiat money, it must have the government order. So I hope you have understood this. Let's come to the question number 9. So what is question number 9? What is high powered money? So high powered money is the currency that has been issued by the government and Reserve Bank of India. So again, this should be high powered money should be issued by government and Reserve Bank of India. Some portion of this currency is kept along with the public. Some portion of this high powered money will be kept along the public, while rest is kept as funds in Reserve Bank, and rest of the money will be kept in the funds, in the form of funds in Reserve Bank, and this is also called a monetary base. That means high powered money is also called a monetary base and is created by RBI. Who created high powered money? High powered money is created by RBI, Reserve Bank of India. High powered money includes currency. Currency means notes and coins, deposits with the government, and reserves of commercial banks with RBI. So these are the components of high powered money. So to sum up, high powered money is H, that is H means high powered money, C plus R, where H means the high powered money, C means currency with the public, that is paper money plus coins, that currency means, and here R is the government and bank deposits with RBI. So this was the question number 9. So let's come to the question number 10. Explain the functions of a commercial bank. This is most important question. Functions of commercial bank. So commercial bank performs various functions. These are given below. Here first one is the accepting deposits. The basic function of commercial banks is to accept deposits of the customer. So these deposits are in the form of what? Saving accounts, fixed deposit accounts, current deposit accounts. So these are the deposits. These are the types of deposit that is accepted by a commercial banks. And the basic function, the first function, the primary function, you may say primary function, that is accepting deposits from the public, is the main function or the primary function or the basic function of a commercial bank. Let's come to the second function, that is granting loans and advances. So the second most important function of the commercial bank is to give loans and advances. The rate of interest charged by banks on loans is higher than the commercial bank higher than the rate of interest paid by the banks on demand deposits and saving deposits. So loans granted by commercial banks are generally for long terms and are given against securities. So advantages are given by bank only for a short span of time. So these are the loans and advances given by a commercial banks, and these loans and advances are given by a commercial bank to the public as a firm, as an individual, and interest must be paid against these loans and advances, and the interest will be higher than the deposits accepting by the commercial banks. And let's come to the secondary functions. Means there are many secondary functions. These are the discounting bills of exchange. It is a written agreement. Discounting bills of exchange means it is a written agreement acknowledging the amount of money is to be paid against the good purchased at a given point of time in the future. The amount can also be cleared before the quoted time through a discounting method on a commercial bank. So this is called discounting bills of exchange. Next one is the overdraw facility. It is an advance given to a customer by keeping the current account to overdraw up to the given limit. Next one is purchasing and selling of the securities. The bank offers you means the customer, you have to write customer, with the facility of selling and buying the securities. Locker facilities. Bank provides locker facilities to the customer to keep their valuable belonging or documents safely. Banks charge a minimum of an annual fee for this service. Next one is paying and gather the credit. It uses different instruments like a promissory note, check, and bill of exchange as a paying and gather the credit. So these are the functions of a commercial bank. So friends, these were the 10 important questions we have included from money and banking of macroeconomics, that is class 12 macroeconomics. And I hope you have liked these questions and this video also you have liked. If you like this video, then please press the like button, as well as you have to share this video with your friends, your classmates. And this is the first part, and on the next part the remaining questions and the previous year exams question we will discuss. So thanks for watching.